Hey guys, for over a year, I've been doing a Mantra Monday post every single day. This is what the affirmation that I need for myself or that I see for my clients or my friends or family that they need to help get them through the week. It's been so cool to stay on track with that and this thing that I've committed to for myself. And now I'm ready to take it to the next level. And so is Luna. So now I will be sharing a video explaining why I chose that mantra and what it means to me, because this is really more than just a sticky note and a cute picture on Instagram. These things actually matter to me, and they've either been really big lessons that I've learned in my life, or the people around me, or truly the thing that I feel like the world needs to hear. So this is my mantra for this week. I don't know, is this gonna be backwards? What you give to yourself, you won't need from someone else. And this is a really inspired big one for me that I feel like a lot of people need to hear. I actually just chose this today, it's Monday, because I just had a session, a really powerful session, and it reminded me of some of the things that I've learned, and it was really impactful for her. So I know that it's something that someone else needs to hear as well. So this is as it pertains to me, might not be the same for you, but for me, I tend to need recognition and validation. And that's why I call myself a recovering people pleaser. And what I've learned is that growing up, we all uncover Okay. And what I've learned that is in our childhood, we develop core emotional needs. And one of mine is recognition. And knowing that is something that I will always need. And if my needs are not met, then I won't be able to move forward. So where this comes into the mantra is that my tendency is to look for that outside of myself. That's something I've really been working on hard, and now something I'll catch myself doing, and when I see that, then I can bring it back in. But what tends to happen is we search to fulfill this need outside of ourselves, and we might get it, we might do the thing, whatever we need for the validation, the recognition, making sure we say the right thing, we do the right thing, we're a good girl, we follow what society wants for us, all of those things, so that people keep telling us how awesome we are. And that might feel good for a second, but it's not sustainable, it's not constant, and it goes away really fast. So one of my friends came up with the great metaphor of a bucket, right? And so I need my bucket to be full, my need to be met. This is my recognition, validation, whatever you want to call it. And people might give that to me, and it goes into the bucket, but when this bucket has a hole in it, and every time that recognition comes in, it might sit there for a little bit, but then it drains out, and it drains out, and then eventually I'm out of it, and I don't have it. And the only way to get it to be sustainable, constant, is to give that to myself, whether that's my own bucket that I keep for me, or the only way to plug the bucket is if I give it to myself. But we have the opportunity to give that to ourselves at all times. When you're noticing yourself looking outside of yourself for validation, that's your cue to start asking yourself, what do I need to do to validate myself? And it's really asking yourself questions to reflect on why are you looking for it outside of yourself? What do you need from yourself so that you will feel that need that you need. So today, in today's session, for her that looked like just doing yoga, mantras, things like that. I have this other client who is putting together a jar where she's putting her wins in there. So when she feels like she achieved something, whether that's pushing aside her perfectionist tendency or saying no to something and not overcommitting, whatever it is, and she's dang, I'm proud of myself. She writes it on a note and she puts it in her jar. And in those moments when we're what am I even doing with my life? Things are hard. Down on herself, inner critic. she has that jar to turn to and be like, no inner critic, here are all the reasons that I'm awesome. So that's something else you can try. But really, if you feel like that need has been drained, then it's like you can always have that fulfilled by yourself, right? The answers aren't outside of ourselves, they're always inside of yourself, and that goes for things that we feel like we need outside of ourselves, right? Like we don't think of validating ourselves, we think of getting that outside of ourselves. So what you give to yourself, you won't need from others. Validate yourself this week.